Hello, everyone. This is the Cricket Forum, your place for the latest news, views, rumors, and all the happenings in cricket. This is the place to be. Good morning and welcome. There's lots to get through today, and there's a live ODI match going on at present between the West Indies and Ireland at Sabina Park in Jamaica. But please, slash a like on the video, share, and subscribe. Remember, your tips are welcome. Today's show is brought to you by the good people at Dealmaker Stores. If you are looking for a pre-owned motor vehicle to buy anywhere in the Caribbean, Dealmaker Store is the place to go. Their link is in the video description. So please support the Cricket Forum, support Dealmaker Stores. Thank you, Dealmaker, for sponsoring today's show. So there are rule change coming in the T20 cricket. But before we go to that, let's give an update. So Ireland have won the toss and have decided to bowl first. Presently, West Indies are 13 without loss after 3 overs and 5 deliveries, 13 without loss. West Indies have left out from their 14, they have left out Thomas, Seals, and Motti. I would have played Seals. I would have Seals in my 11. I would have left out Shepherd. But then I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue about that decision. This would have been my call, but Simmons and Pollard thought differently, so they have included Shepherd instead of Seals. I am okay with that. So Ireland have won the toss, and this match, for a while, this match was in doubt as two Ireland players, Simi Singh and Ben White, were tested positive for COVID yesterday. But after all the players and support staff were tested last night and again this morning, the match was cleared to take place. So at present, West Indies, after 4 overs, West Indies 15 without loss. There's a debut for Greaves. Greaves is 7 from 15 deliveries, and Shio is 6 from 9, 2 extras. Little and Adair opened the bowling. And so at present, after 4 overs, West Indies 15 without loss. Now, T20 cricket has seen a rule change, and I love this change. I am very impressed with this change. And whosoever came up with the idea originally, it was first introduced in the 100 in England, and now T20 have adopted it, and it's a change that I welcome. Now in T20 cricket, you get 1.5 hours to bowl your 20 overs. We have seen that as of late, we have seen that teams are taking up to 2 hours to bowl their 20 overs and are dragging out the game. So without affecting the game and without giving anybody any extra runs or without deducting any runs, they came up with the idea that, look, once you don't start your 20th over, once you don't start that final over in the allotted time, all other overs after your cutoff time, you will only be able to have 4 fielders outside the 30-yard circles instead of 5. I just think it's a brilliant idea, and I think it's a way of speeding up the game, because too long, so many players have seen to slow down the game and bully the game. And when I saw this rule, the first person that came to my mind is Pollard. How is Pollard going to operate in a space and captain and lead an international ODI team that is required to finish the 20 overs in 1.5 hours? He's the slowest captain. He slowed down the game more than anyone else. And now, if he continues on that trend, and if his team fail to start the final over of their bowling innings at the cutoff time. All other overs after the cutoff time will have to be bowled with only 4 fielders outside the 30-meter circle. Well done, ICC. I love this rule. It will speed up the game. It therefore means that a T20 game will now take a little over 3 hours to be completed. I have watched T20 games that have taken 4.5 hours because it appears that the players do not appreciate the time after watching public. They don't appreciate television time. They don't appreciate broadcasters' time. They don't appreciate the spectators' time. And players like Pollard will now come under pressure. Yes, the West Indies captain, Kieran Pollard, the bully, will now come under pressure. He can't bully me. He can bully those boys, but not me. I don't know Pollard's signature, so how can he bully me? But I know that this is going to affect him. And maybe we will now see a better West Indies team. We will now see a better West Indies team because all that bulliness, especially in T20 cricket, will have to take sideline and the game speed up. So congratulations, ICC. I think it's a welcome rule change. I love it. So the score is now move up to 1 run off that over. West Indies are now 16 without loss. Both Greaves and Hope are on 7. Congratulations to Justin Greaves for making his West Indies ODI debut. So the West Indies team is Greaves, Hope, Chase, Pooran, Holder, Pollard, Simit Hussain. Who am I leaving out? Joseph, Shepherd, leaving out someone. There's a batsman that I'm leaving out. But the 3 that were left out of the 14 were Thomas, Seals, and Murty. I did not expect Murty and Thomas to play, but I had expected that Seals would have gotten in. That, as I said earlier, that would have been my choice. Now, the 4th test that is presently going on in Australia at the Sydney Cricket Ground. For the first time in the series, England were showing some resistance. So on the 3rd day, while Bairstow and Stokes was putting on that partnership, it appears that it hurts some Australian spectators, especially 3 of them. It appears that it hurt them. So when both batsmen walked off at tee, spectators tried to shame them, to body shame them. One of them shouted, "Stokes, you are too fat. You are fat. Sorry, you are fat. Stokes, you are fat." And then they said to Bairstow, "Bairstow, take off your sweater, Bairstow. Bairstow, you are too fat. Lose some weight, Bairstow. Bairstow, take off your sweater. Bairstow, lose some weight, Bairstow." These spectators were removed from the ground. 3 of them were removed from the ground for body shaming these cricketers. It is said that when they said, "Stoke, you are too fat," Stoke did not pay it any mind. They did not respond. But when they addressed Bairstow by saying, "Bairstow, take off your sweater. Take off your sweater, Bairstow. Bairstow, you are too fat." It said that then was the time that Ben Stokes stopped and stared down the spectators. Apparently, when they said it to Bairstow, the spectator walked away. So Bairstow said, "Right, turn and walk away. You are like weak piss," or something like that. "You are weak like piss. Right, turn and walk away. You are weak like piss." That's what Bairstow said. So 18 without loss is now the score. So that was the situation. Apparently, England, after losing the first 3 matches so comfortable and so easy, the spectators came to Sydney expecting England to capitulate again, and they did not. And while this partnership was going on, it was hurting some people. They take the passion of sport, the emotion of sport to another level, and they were hurting, and they tried to body shame these two English batsmen, Ben Stokes and Bairstow. You know that David Bairstow, his father committed suicide, I think 20 years ago, about 24 years ago, on the 5th of January. Incidentally, this test started on the 5th of January. So David Bairstow committed suicide on the 5th of January. I don't remember the exact year. My brain is telling me 24, but I will look it up. But his father, or you can look it up, his father committed suicide 24 years ago, and on the 5th of January. And this test match started on the 5th of January. So it was only fitting that he made a century. And it was a difficult century. He got a lot of knock on his hands. It appears that both he and Ben Stokes, who suffered a side strain in the match. Yes, while he was bowling, on the second day, he was bowling a lot of, putting in a lot of effort in his bowling, and was bowling a lot of short pitch deliveries. And he got a side strain. West Indies still 18 for 1. He got a side strain. 5 overs and 4 deliveries have been bowled so far. He got a side strain. My video feed, my live match feed, it's not coming through. So I turned to a site that gives test commentary. I don't know why I'm not getting the live stream of the match. So I'm not getting the live stream of the match. So I can't tell you what shots are playing and so on. But the score is 18 without loss after 5.4 overs. West Indies batting. Greaves and Hope are the openers. Both of them are on 7. 4 extras so far in the innings. Mark Adair is bowling the 6th over. He had bowled 4 deliveries so far. So West Indies 18 without loss after 5 overs and 4 deliveries. So incidentally, both Stokes and Bairstow may be out of this match, and Sam Billings have been asked to join the squad as cover. As I said in a previous video, Sam Billings was on his way to the airport. He was on his way to Brisbane Airport when he got the call. Because he was on his way to Brisbane Airport to prepare with the England team that is scheduled to arrive in the Caribbean for a 5-match T20 series against the West Indies. So he was leaving Australia. I think he was playing for the Brisbane Heats. He was playing for the Brisbane Heats, and he was leaving Australia. 90 minutes. It said that it was 90 minutes. He was 90 minutes away from leaving Australia when he got the call. So instead of going to Brisbane Airport, he said that he went to the Gold Coast Airport to get a car and drive 500 miles to Sydney to meet up with the team. Because of COVID protocol, he could not fly to Sydney. He was to drive. So he drove 500 miles from the Gold Coast of Australia to Sydney to join the team. So well done, Sam Billings. It must have been a very exciting times, and there must be a lot going through your mind in that ride. I mean, if I would do that, I would drive 2,000-3,000 miles in my prime. If West Indies had given me a call to join up with the team, I would have swum if I could. So I know that he must have been very happy, and he's probably in line to make his test debut. So Sam Billings have joined up with the Australian team. He drove 500 miles from the Gold Coast of Australia to Sydney to join up with the Australian team. And in this 4th test, it's not all bad, but the body shaming of stroke, but Khawaja. And it's now going to be difficult for Australia to drop Khawaja, because Khawaja have made his 2nd century of the match, 101 not out of 138 deliveries. Now, West Indies have lost a wicket. Greaves out. The batsman out have been Greaves. So he made 7. Greaves out for 7. Just checking to see Greaves, caught Denley, Ball, Adair. Caught Delaney. So Greaves is out, caught Delaney, Ball, Adair for 7. West Indies 18 for 1 at the end of the 6th over. So after 6 over, West Indies 18 for 1. So not a good start for Greaves, but it's his first match. He probably would have been nervous. So Greaves is out. West Indies 18 for 1 after 6 overs. Greaves gone for 7. Caught Delaney, Ball, Mark Adair for 7. And Ireland have struck. So Poran has now joined up at the wicket. So West Indies 18 for 1. So Khawaja have hit his second century of the match, 103 of 101 of 138 deliveries, much faster. And he and Cameron Green, because Cameron Green made 74. Very good. He was under pressure. Cameron Green was under pressure. And at one point, I was saying that if Cameron Green does not make any runs in this innings, he is the one who's going to be dropped. Although he provided that genuine fifth bowling option for Australia, I think that it would have been easier to drop him than Khawaja and bringing back Travis Head. So it is going to be very interesting because Marcus Harris position may now in jeopardy because they would have now moved up Khawaja to open the innings. But does Khawaja want to open the innings after making 2 centuries at number 5 in the same match? Does he want to move up now to open the innings? So 25 for 1. So Australia were 86 for 4 at one time. After about 32 overs, Australia was 86 for 4. And there was hope that probably England could squeeze them out for probably 150, 180, leaving themselves to get 300 to win. But Cameron Green and Usman Khawaja dug in, and in a brilliant 171 runs, 5th wicket partnership, put Australia in the ascendancy. So Green made 74, Khawaja made a 101 not out. Carey came, made ducks, and the declaration was made. So Australia declared a 265 for 6. Cameron Green and Usman Khawaja in that brilliant 171 run 5th wicket partnership, pulling Australia from 86 for 4 to 265 for 6 declared, setting England a total of a target of 388 to win the match. They closed at 30 without loss. So England closed the match at 30 with the 4th day's play at 30 without loss. So they need 350 runs on tomorrow's final day. I think 98 overs are scheduled to be bowled. So it's going to be a tricky day. So are 3 results possible? Do you think 3 results is possible? I'm thinking about it. 2 for sure, a draw or an Australia win for sure. But what is the chance of England making 350 runs in one day in a test match? This is not limited over. This is not white ball cricket. This is red ball cricket. There's no fielding restriction and so on. 350 runs in one day. England against Australia, not likely. So I think it will either be a draw or a win for Australia. So the match is the score now 6 overs and 5 deliveries, 20-27 for 1. Because Ireland will be looking to do good here because they're under pressure. Because after being beaten by Namibia in the World Cup, and they were knocked out of the World Cup after losing that match, and lost to the USA when they were expected to beat the USA a few weeks ago. It was a shock for them to lose to the USA. So they lost to the USA in a T20 match. Were beaten in the T20 World Cup by Namibia. Now just Wednesday, they were beaten by Jamaica, a provisional side, a regional side, not an international side. Jamaica, that's one level below the international side. They were beaten by Jamaica. So Ireland will be looking to do well. They will try to improve in this match because they are under a lot of pressure. They have a new coach, Enric Malan, the South African. So Enric Malan, the South African, have taken over the team. But there are reports coming out of Ireland that Ireland cricket is in crisis. But Balbirnie, the captain, is saying that despite all the talk, they are concentrating on the game and they are looking forward to this game and they are thinking of beating West Indies. They are confident that they can beat West Indies because Sabina Park, the 2007 World Cup, was it the 2007 World Cup, the one that was staged in the West Indies? They beat Pakistan at Sabina Park. We all remember that incident. And after the match, the Pakistani coach, Bob Woolmer, was found dead in his hotel room. Was that case ever solved? What is that still a mystery? Was it solved? We don't know. But Ireland is in crisis. Ireland cricket is said to be in crisis. They are under a lot of pressure in Ireland after losing to Namibia that got knocked out of the World Cup. The surprise loss to the USA, and then we're beaten by Jamaica, a provisional side, a state side. They are under a lot of pressure. So West Indies, after 7 overs and 2 deliveries, are 27 for 1. Pooran is on 1. Hope is on 15. Hope have it 2-4 so far. So not a bad start for the West Indies, 3.68. They would want to gradually increase that rate, but it's 50 over cricket. So they 3.68. We expect it at the end of the day that they're still in line for over 300 runs. And I don't see Ireland getting that. Right? Because there's some real power at the back end of this innings now. Some real power. Pollard, Simit, Shepherd, some real power is at the back end of this innings. And Pooran is very good. So it's good to see Pooran batting at 3. I would have Brooks opening with Hope and Chase. I would have Greaves at 5. But then that is not me. But remember, I'm the guru. I know the cricket more than most. So more than most won't understand the ideas, right? Because I know the cricket more than most, because I am the guru. So Ireland will be looking to change around their fortune. They are under a lot of pressure from their fans, and they'll be looking to change around their fortune. Now, West Indies 28 for 1 after 7 overs and 4 deliveries. Interestingly, there's another match that will be starting later today in about 7 hours time, 8 hours time. That is the second test match between Bangladesh and New Zealand in New Zealand. And you may recall that New Zealand won that first test match by 8 wickets, their first ever test victory in New Zealand. And there was a lot of celebration, and a lot of celebration, rightfully so. The Bangladesh team celebrated, and they celebrated. This have hurt the New Zealanders. It have hurt them bad, and they have prepared a grasstop. I've seen it, and you hardly can tell the difference between the pitch and the grass around it. It's a grasstop at the Hagley Oval in Christchurch. The Hagley Oval. Hagley Oval. Hagley Oval in Christchurch. They have prepared a grasstop. And I don't have an issue with home team once it is fair, and I think preparing a grasstop is fair. Once a team, if it is hard and the grass is cut even, it's fair. It is fair. Once the grass is cut even and the pitch is hard, it is fair. And if that provides the best advantage for New Zealand, who is the home team, for me, it's par for the course. It's par for the course. Once the pitch is hard, the grass is cut even, and your New Zealand is looking to give themselves what they believe is the best advantage. It's par for the course for me. Par for the course. So good luck to New Zealand. Good luck to Bangladesh. I think New Zealand have done the right thing in preparing a grasstop. Congratulations to New Zealand. I would have done exactly the same. Exactly the same. No qualms about it. Please though, remember to slash a like on the video, subscribe and share. And remember the Dealmaker store, they have sponsored today's show. If you are looking for pre-owned vehicle, if you are living in the Caribbean and looking for pre-owned vehicle, please contact the Dealmaker store. Their link is in the video description. So please, anywhere in the Caribbean, they deliver motor vehicle, anywhere, pre-owned motor vehicle, anywhere in the Caribbean, at your doorstep. Yes, they are capable of delivering the vehicle at your doorstep. Anywhere in the Caribbean, their vehicles are clean, they are reliable, they are effective, they are efficient. So if you are looking for a pre-owned vehicle and you are living in the Caribbean, Dealmaker store is the place to be. The link is in the video description. Please click the link. And please remember to slash a like on the video, share and subscribe to the channel, and your tips are always welcome. Now, the final thing I want to look at today is the Big Bash League in Australia. They have revamped it. They have requested that all the teams report to Victoria. So they're going to have Victoria as a staging area. And the matches for next week have been rescheduled. They have outlined a schedule. But as you saw in the CPL, where all the teams were in one place, over the last 2 years, the second part of the IPL, all the teams were in one place. Now the BBL is saying that all the teams should gather in Victoria. My understanding is that not all the matches will be played in Victoria, but the teams will base in Victoria, and it's probably cheaper to quarantine everybody one place, and they'll probably leave from Victoria to the matches. But Australia is a big place, and they will probably have to travel far, because you heard that Sam Billings drove 500 miles from the south coast of Australia to Sydney. But all the teams have been asked to gather in Victoria, and Victoria will be the staging area. They have worked out the schedule. My understanding of the schedule is not that the matches will be necessarily played in Victoria, but all the teams are expected to relocate in Victoria. We'll see how the schedule go. West Indies still 29 for 1. Hope is now on 16 of 20 deliveries. Pooran yet to get going. He's only on 1 of 6 deliveries. So Pooran is taking his time, and let's see what happens. So not a bad start by the West Indies. Not a bad start by Ireland. You could say this session is even so far. 29 for 1 of 8 overs and 2 deliveries. Probably West Indies have like a look to more runs, maybe 35. So maybe Ireland is just edging it. Probably they want to be about 35, 40. So Ireland probably just edging it at this time. So 29 for 1 of 8.3 overs. So the BBL have asked that all teams now be relocated to Victoria, and from there the matches will be rescheduled, and it appears that the teams will leave Victoria to the venue. But I'm just thinking that these matches, even if they are leaving Victoria to a venue outside the state, I don't see it being very far. Or maybe all of the match, not necessarily going to play at Melbourne, but in and around Victoria. So don't forget to slash a like on the video, share, and subscribe to the video. So thank you everyone for tuning in. May God bless you and have a happy Saturday. And I hope West Indies will be able to pull off this one against Ireland. And I hope also Bangladesh will win. So slash a like on the video. And don't forget, if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle and you're living in the Caribbean, the Dealmaker store is the place to do. Their link are in the video description. So until next time, everyone, take care and hope that West Indies will win.